People have said that over the last few weeks, Monday Night Raw has been unwatchable. I did not agree with it. I thought it wasn't that bad that you would not be able to watch it without actually feeling bad. Today, that all changes. I watched Raw today and I genuinely am considering never watching Raw again. And this is coming from a guy who has watched the whole bullshit that has been going on for the last 2-3 months and still watch it with sort of enthusiasm. I wanted to see how worse they can make Raw, but this one infuriated me more than anything that has happened over the last entire months. It's so dog shit. Let's talk about why Raw is fucking unwatchable. A lot of people actually blame the 3-hour format of Raw for the failure of it. I don't necessarily think that's bad. I know 3 hours is a lot of time to invest in a show, but if you watch it without any ad breaks or anything, it actually turns out to be just a 2-hour show, which is not that horrible. But here is where I have problem. It's when you end the fucking night with one of the most horrible segments in the history of the show. As of the show tonight, it was decent. There were a couple of decent matches, like Jeff Hardy and Cedric Alexander should have had a better match, but it wasn't a bad match with a clean finish. You cannot see them often in this show. We had Charlotte and Rhea facing Asuka and Cross, what was probably one of the worst storylines going on in wrestling right now, with how Nikki Cross isn't good enough and she isn't experienced enough. She has been wrestling since 2008. She's more experienced than both of those women. Never mind, I guess. And it's so infuriating because she's really good in the ring, but she's not given a decent chance. But I decided to look through all of it. Asuka's misuse, fuck it. I'm gonna look through it, okay? Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo had a pretty decent match. Actually, probably the best match of the night. I enjoyed it. And they did a double count out, but this one made sense. I'm gonna be honest with you, this one wasn't the worst finish in the history of Raw. I liked the finish. The only non-finish, I kind of liked it. The night started with a battle royale, and the starting segment was way too long for me to even care about. AJ cut the worst promo of his life because it was so uninteresting. The Miz came out and it was so worse. Oh, I hate the Miz so much. And Morrison showed why he's so good, and the battle royale was decent. Some storylines were forwarded and Viking Raiders won, which is great. I'm okay with that. So a lot of great moving pieces and a lot of stories going forward. I like that. RK Bro is carrying the entire show. Mansoor seems promising. The women's championship picture is convoluted, sure, but it's going somewhere. And then we get to the main event and holy fucking shit. I had to pause the recording, take a breather to talk about this because it was so fucking bad. So, throughout the entire night, it was announced that Shayna Baszler, the legit MMA fighter, the fighter who could have actually fought Ronda Rousey at one point, is now going to be in the Alexa's playground. And you know what? It made sense. Alexa has been making Shayna's life a living hell, and for her to ask for revenge is fine. But you know what wasn't fine? She didn't want revenge from Alexa. She wanted revenge from Lily, the doll. The entire show was building up to that, that is what the main event is supposed to be. And we build up to it. Before going out there, Nia stops her and says, hey, this is the worst I've ever seen Alexa Bliss, and I've seen her before, and this is bad. And Shayna's like, it's a fucking doll, shut up. And we get to the segment, Shayna comes out, and instead of beating them up like Shayna Baszler would have, the Shayna Baszler that everyone fell in love with, what she did is beyond stupid. She talked to Alexa Bliss first, then picked up the doll and said, hey, you're just a stupid doll, and I'm sorry that you're a stupid doll. Alexa beat up Shayna Baszler for that. Well, didn't beat up, she attacked Shayna Baszler. She attacked Shayna Baszler in a really stupid angle. And not only that, after that, Shayna Baszler stomped on the fucking doll. This is Shayna Baszler, by the way, one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion of all time. The woman that took the world by storm in 2019, the woman that should have won the 2020 Royal Rumble, the woman that almost defeated Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 1.5 years ago, it was her. She is stomping on a doll. If that was the end, I would have been happy. No, it's not. Right after that, the LED screens keep going berserk, and then Shayna Baszler runs away because she is afraid of what Lily's gonna do, and the entire thing's going on. There's like telekinesis power. Things are getting thrown at her, which is stupid. And then she runs away. There are like glitches going on everywhere in terms of the lighting and stuff. She runs away, and in the end, she locks herself in a room. There's a mirror, and then she looks at the mirror, and there's Lily there. She looks outside of the mirror. She's not there. She does that twice, breaks up the mirror, and then this. I legit cannot remember the last time I was so angry at the finish of a Raw. I've watched the dog shit that has been going on for the last 3 months. Nothing was this bad. I don't remember Raw being this bad. The entire show was decent. There was one mistake, and that was the women's title picture with Nikki Cross and all that shit. But you know what? I'm okay with that. The rest of the show was decent. That was actually one of the better Raws of the last 2 months. And then they fuck it up with this main event, and it makes me not want to watch Raw anymore. They finally got the commentary good. Jimmy Smith, I believe his name is, he's really good. And at least compared to Adnan Burke, he's really good. Corey, as always, is carrying them, but sure, it's more than bearable right now. The tag team division is slightly going somewhere, I guess. The US Championship picture it's not great, but what can we do? The WWE title picture isn't bad, but this main event, oh my fucking god. I don't think I have ever been this angry after watching a show. Oh, people are calling it the worst ending in the history of Monday Night Raw. I can't agree with that because I have not watched Raw before like 2013, 2012. But this is the worst Raw I have ever watched in my life in terms of an ending. I don't want to watch Raw next week. I want to watch Raw every single week up till now because I was like, they're gonna do some stupid shit, but who cares? I'll just watch. Now, this is an insult to everything I care about. And this is why AEW rocks, you know? They might screw up every now and then, absolutely. They're not perfect, they're not flawless. But they never insult the people in such a manner. And this is what WWE is doing, and I cannot fathom why. This is so shit. I cannot believe how garbage this is. Raw is fucking unwatchable, and I will keep watching because I'm addicted to this nonsense. But oh my god, I really think Raw needs to stop. It needs to have a reset. And whoever's idea this was needs to be fired, even if it's Vince. I hated this episode's ending. So stupid.